drafts was to try to balance between allowing members to get a house, which is a good thing, but not compromising the ultimate objective of the pension scheme, which is to provide an income to the member in retirement, which is why the pension scheme was started in the first place. The saving in the pension scheme was for purposes of pension in retirement. It can give other nice things. We have tried to use them to assist in medical, to assist in housing, and so on. But we should not compromise the ultimate objective. And also, we have to make sure that we don't allow abuse. People may access the money yet they are not actually buying any house. It could just be a shortcut or a leakage from the system. And also, we don't want trustees to have so much burden of becoming agents for procurement of houses and so on. So we have to put some of those kind of requirements in the drafts. So what the drafts had is that houses are to be bought. They can only be residential houses, not commercial, because that's what the law says. And similarly, they are for purchase. This question always comes for construction. I think if you read the act is talking about purchase, not talking about construction. So the regulations could not really contradict what is in the law itself. The institutions that can be purchased from, one of the comments that we got from the industry, which was very good, is that we had mixed the institutions for mortgage and the institutions for purchase. So now we have separated, so that is clear, which you can purchase from and which you get a mortgage from. The draft had a limit, which was 40% of member accumulated benefits and a maximum of 7 million. Here we got two views. A lot of people said that 7 million is too high. We are compromising the retirement objective and the stability of the industry. We should go for something like 3 million and so on, which I believe is what PS Hinger is going to talk about in his presentation, is what they have for affordable housing and also what they have under Kenya Mortgage Refinance Corporation. On the other hand, we got others who said 7 million is not enough. If my 40% can get me 10 million, why deny me the chance to take 10 million and buy a house of 10 million? So those are the two sides, and we are trying to balance to see where we can get an agreed position. The facility can only be used once, and I think that is obvious because if the idea is for somebody to get a home, then you don't need to buy two homes. You can leave the rest for pension purposes. The facility is available before retirement, not afterwards. Of course, once you have retired and you've gotten your money, you're free to use your money however you want, including buying a home. So this is to help those who are still working. And the draft also talked of some minimum requirements, procedures for application, and how quickly trustees have to respond when somebody applies so that applications don't hang for long periods. So that is what we had, but like I've said, we are working on incorporating what we got from the industry. We really appreciated the many comments that we received. We shall prepare this. When we go to the National Assembly, we shall not only table the amended regulations, but we shall table a matrix having all the hundreds and hundreds of comments that we received and how we addressed each comment. So it's quite a task because we have to say, Mr. Kamau submitted, he said that we should do this. This is how we have addressed his comment. Then we go to Mr. Mutua, submitted this. This is what he said. This is how we have addressed his comment. So you can